So there's this spiritual term which says we are all one, and we hear that so often, but what does it really mean to be one? What do they mean when they say we are all one, we are all originating from oneness? And I want to try to shine a light on my perspective on that, because everyone has a different perspective. And I'm not saying that I'm telling the absolute truth, or that there is such a thing as absolute truth. But what I really truly believe is, if I would have to name one thing that is closest to absolute truth, it would be that we are all one. Because for me, it doesn't make sense if we wouldn't be one. And I'm trying to explain later why, but I really want to stress this. Please, if you listen to my video or to my words, think for yourself. Would it make sense any other way that we are not one? Would it make sense to you that there wasn't one in the first place, but several? It doesn't make sense to me, but you judge for yourself. I'm just gonna explain my perspective and what I believe, or what resonates with me, what I've drawn from meditations and cosmic downloads and all that stuff. But all of that is very individual, and I can't guarantee you that this is the absolute truth. I can just share my knowledge or my perspective and see if it resonates with you. And you have to find out for yourself if that is something you can take into consideration, or that can even help you to get a deeper understanding, or if this is something that doesn't resonate with you at all. So then just don't take me seriously. It's really as easy as that. You have to find your own perspective and see what resonates in your heart, and everything else is just not for you. The easiest way to do this is if you try to imagine nothing. Try to imagine nothingness. Like seriously nothing. And you will notice it is very hard to imagine that there is nothing. Even if you imagine it as something as a void or a black hole or something, there still is something. There's the void or the black hole. You can't simply imagine nothing. You always have something that you are thinking of. And so the closest you'll ever come to imagining nothingness is potential. Because potential is something that means... potential is something. There you go. You can't imagine nothing. So potential is the potential for something to become or to be aware of. And I guess this is physically not the right term, but let's say this potential is the first density or the first dimension or whatever you want to call it. So we will call it 1D. 1D is the dimension of potential. Nothingness, but the potential to become. Something can become. It has the potential to be, but it's not yet, it is not being. It is just a potential that is there for that thing, whatever it is, that nothingness, which is a thing. You get it? It's really, there is no such thing as nothing. So the potential is the closest you'll get to nothingness. So if there is nothing, there is at least the potential for that nothingness to become. When this potential now is starting to become aware of itself, because it is becoming, as that was the potential, it starts to become aware of itself in terms of self-awareness. So let's say self-awareness, the awareness of the self for that potential is the second dimension, 2D. Now you have this potential that is aware of itself, that it has potential, and it is aware and aware and aware, and it is endlessly aware of itself. So it becomes conscious of itself. It is not only aware anymore, it is conscious. It has consciousness. It starts to be conscious about the self and about its existence. So there's still one thing. First it was nothingness, then it became potential, because it always has been potential, because there is no such thing as nothingness. This focus point of awareness became so strong that it became consciousness. It turned into consciousness. Because being aware is one thing, but being conscious is the other thing. It is the accelerated version of being aware. So that's the natural way for that to happen. First it is aware, then it becomes conscious. Let's from now on call this thing or nothingness that became aware and all, let's call this the infinite creator, because this is just easier for me to explain then. So potential, awareness, consciousness, we call that the infinite creator. With that consciousness, the infinite creator only knew unity. It only knew oneness. Because it is one. It is originated from that potential. It's always been. So there's just one unity. One unified consciousness that is aware of itself, that is conscious about its existence. So there's only unity. And in order to know itself, it has to see other or two. You get what I mean? So, the infinite creator projects itself further into other existences. It projects itself in the illusion that there are many or there is other things. So, all of what I just said would be before the Big Bang. So there's nothing solidified yet. This is all just an ethereal realm, astral realm, energetic realm, whatever you want to call it. And the third dimension is solid, you know? Because here's my body and it is separated from your body. And I can see that. And that's why I know me. This is me and this is you. So there's a border between us. And this is what helps us understand what we as ourselves are. Because we see the contrast in others. And this is... It's very hard to explain. Because oneness has split itself into so many fractals that it is hard to grasp that we are all one, but ultimately we are. This is how this spiral goes down. And I'm not gonna explain, and I can't explain the whole Big Bang and why we are here and all. I can't explain that to the point, but I can feel intuitively within myself and within my heart that this resonates with me, what I've just told you. And maybe it resonates with you, maybe it doesn't. Both is fine. But that's basically it. The unified creator projects itself into other experiences. These experiences are then aware of itself and project further. It's like a tree diagram that becomes bigger and bigger on the end. I mean, this creator thing goes even down to us as humans. It's not just that planets were created and beings were created on these planets, and even we as humans create children. We set the intention that we want children and we can create them. So we're doing the exact same thing. We're projecting ourselves further into other experiences. We're giving a part of ourselves to experience in another being. You know what I mean? There's oneness. It projects itself further into galaxies, universes, planets, minerals, trees, plants, animals, human beings, other beings. And those beings project all of what I've just mentioned, project itself further. So plants spread seeds, animals produce babies, humans produce babies. We all spread our creation into existence. And that's how it works. It is a spiral of creation, but we are ultimately all from one source, from one consciousness. So the reality that we are all separated and that we are all functioning as separate beings is nothing more than an illusion, a very good one, but it is an illusion. And everything we don't like in others is just a mirror for us to see what we might not like about ourselves or what we suppress in ourselves. So it is this thing that the infinite creator wanted to do. It wanted to know itself, and we are the infinite creator. We are fractals or parts or sparks of it, and we all experience that contrast, and we all want to know who we are, because we all come from the infinite creator, and we are in service to it. But service is not the right term, because we are it. We're the branches of the infinite creator, and we are giving back our information to the source, to the infinite creator that we are. We just don't know that we are the infinite creator because we've split so many times, and because the whole point in it was that we experience ourselves, and the infinite creator experiences itself as separate beings or as separate whatevers. So all of this, the whole point in creation is to get to know itself. So there's, in my opinion, no God that knows everything. There is creative potential and creative consciousness that is perfect in itself and flawless. And it was unity. There was no polarity, no good versus evil, no black versus white. There was unity, but that unity was very unaware of itself. So it needed contrast to know itself. And that's how creation was made. There was the desire for that unity to know itself, and that can only happen if you know others, if there are the illusion of two, or other than, or more than, or other than me, or same as me. This is how you get experiences, and this is how you get back the experience. You give back the experiences to the infinite creator. So I hope this made any sense to you, and I hope you liked my explanation or it resonated with you. Let me know in the comments. I would be very happy to read them. I'll read them all because this is a topic I'm very invested in. I love talking about creation and all the cosmic stuff and the bigger picture behind things, because I just can't walk through life and not ask these questions. So have a nice day and cosmic kisses.